two end plates for the chassis rails on either side that I cut and shortened it where I removed the damaged section. And the plates will hold the tube that goes across the front that acts as a spreader bar and holds the front engine mount and the radiator. So the way I'm going to do this, I'm going to electronically scan the chassis rail on either side because they're different, then load that into my computer, play with it in the CAD drawing program, and then load that into my laser cutting table, which will automatically... No, I don't think so. What I'm going to do is get a bit of cardboard, bang it on the end. That'll give me the exact shape. I'll draw that out with a pen, transfer those two templates to sheet metal, cut them out with an angle grinder, bash them and get them to fit, and then weld them in place. Old school, still works. With all my plug welding holes drilled and the paint sanded off and the plate temporarily put back in, you can see how I'm going to be able to plug weld it. I really like this method of welding because instead of trying to edge weld two different thicknesses of metal, this one is thicker than the chassis rail, and so when you're welding down through a plug hole, you're just building a pool of weld that just spills out and locks everything together. It's got great strength when there's a force this way. I haven't I won't weld these on yet because I want to do fabrication work around them. Most people would just put the end plates on the flat here, but I'm going to put the end plates, I'm going to make them the same as these plates with bent corners so that the plate will overlap not only this but the chassis rail as well, so that if there's an impact, it gives maximum strength there. So I've cut out the pattern to make these plates. I won't bother showing you how I'm doing that because it's the same as what I've already done. But I'll show you when I've got the secondary plates that will hold the tubing that will go over the end of my fabrication here. Time to make the new engine bay front crossbar, the chief job of which is to hold the engine mount. And as you've seen, I've cut that old mounting bracket for the engine mount off the previous bar that was damaged in the crash. That determines the height of the bar, and I've got that positioned horizontally. I've rough cut a piece of tubing to show me the approximate angle that I need to cut the end of the bar at to match up with the mounting plate. And as far as where to make the bend goes, this point here is where the radiator mount is on this side. So I've left the amount of room that I need for the radiator mounts with the bar straight. It needs to curve up to there, which I can calculate with my bender pretty close, like so. So when I put this tube in the bender, I'll position that point there level with the mandrel, and that'll give me the bend I need. The driver's side end of this bar is different because the engine mount is not exactly in the middle of the bar, it's offset. So this is where the radiator mount is, and I could start my bend from here, but it would be a different angle to the other one. So to make this bend the same as the other side, I'm going to work this one out backwards. I'm going to put the tube in the bar and get it to where it lines up with the plate. and that's where I need the mandrel to go on this one. You can see the difference there. That's just how much the engine's offset. So that'll give me the same angle bend on both sides, so it will look neat.